Alright guys, and sorry I sound a little sick. I'm starting to get over a pretty bad cold or whatever the hell it is this season. And I just wanted to say, before I get into the actual content of this book, you might be confused when you look this up and what you're looking at, because originally in 2019, this was released, which is Miles Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man Omnibus, and then they re-released it just recently last year as Miles Morales Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 1 to go along with Brian Bendis' Volume 2 that came after it. So this is the same exact book. So whether you pick up my version, which is the one that came in 2019, or you want to pick up the new one, Miles Morales Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 1, it is the exact same book with the exact same content in it. Alright, in case you're wondering what's inside the collection, well, we have Ultimate Comics Spider-Man issues 1 to 28. We also have Spider-Man 1 to 5, which is a miniseries. There's Catalysm Ultimate Spider-Man 1 to 3, Ultimate Spider-Man 200, which was just a 200 milestone for the series overall, and Miles Morales Ultimate Spider-Man 1 to 12. So it's a little confusing. I'll get into it in a minute. See, Miles Morales had huge shoes to fill since Ultimate Spider-Man was so good for so long. And luckily, thanks to having Bendis still on the title, he did do it with pretty much ease. We start with Miles being super young and he's not in high school yet, and he gets bit and learns how to use his powers as Spider-Man. He at first doesn't really want to be a hero, only saving someone in the moment, but when he witnesses the death of Peter Parker, he knows what he must do. These opening issues really work for me since Peter, who was also a teenager, just felt so much older than Miles. So it felt like you get this new, young, inexperienced kid at the start that just worked for me on every level. But once you get to see the original Spider-Man die, Miles has to use that motivation to pick up the mantle, even saying if he used his power then, he might have been able to save Peter that day fighting Green Goblin. So right away we get thrown into the family mix. You have a supporting cast from his mother, his father, to especially his Uncle Aaron and Genki, who turns out to be one of his best friends, and Uncle Aaron, who turns out to be the Prowler. And so, being a supervillain, Miles kind of has to figure out that family dynamic with his uncle, making him question if he's doing the right thing while trying to sort out this superhero stuff. It's great watching a multi-layer character grow, and it's not as simple as yes or no for Miles a lot of the time when he makes his choices. The arc with his uncle is both exciting, and thanks to his uncle's dynamic with him prior to this and enduring it, and also having the villain, the Scorpion, it just feels like a major threat in all levels, both personal and superhero wise. So soon after that, we kind of get shifted into Miles interacting more with the Ultimate Universe. He has to actually help the Ultimates, which is this universe's Avengers. It's a really fun way to show how Miles will interact with other heroes, and it's an exciting crossover. But the best arc for me for this entire volume is definitely the Symbiote War arc. This is where Miles has to go head-to-head with, that's right, Venom. And this Venom wants Spider-Man more than anything. This leads to some fantastic fights and a devastating ending that has Miles grow up quicker than he should have. From there on, we do get some fun moments, including Miles getting a girlfriend and him working closer to other heroes like Cloak and Dagger. However, things do get a little bit worse as it goes on, as we have a character return that didn't really sit well with me. It was handled well enough, but honestly, I preferred if it just never happened. The very last arc is also probably the weakest in the entire book because it's shifting the focus from Miles to Miles' father, and it's really just a boring backstory that did not work for me on most levels. Saying that, the overall quality of this omnibus, I mean, we're talking a pretty hefty omnibus at 1,100 pages or a little bit more than that. It's pretty high. It continues the trend of keeping high stakes, but also intimate slice-of-life drama close to the characters to keep them relatable. Some of my favorite moments in the entire Ultimate Spider-Man line, including Peter's, is this volume. If you want to get to know the origins of Miles and why he became such a captivating character and now a lead movie star, you should check this out. This is, to me, some of the best Miles material that we get, and for that, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Now, I hope you guys like this review. Again, sorry I'm sick, I'm not feeling well. But, what is your favorite Miles Morales storyline? Or actually, I already asked that. So what's your favorite just Spider-Man story in general? Do you have one that you just really love? List that below. I'd love to hear that. I like Spider-Man. He's probably one of my favorite superheroes of all time, but he does have a lot of misses with the hits, so let's be honest, you know? If you like this video, hit that like button. If you love it, hit the subscribe button. And everybody else, just have that wonderful day today.